Greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for taking a little time out of your day. Lions Talk Live Morning Show Edition. And here we go. OTAs are now underway. Brings up a lot of questions. As you can see from the thumbnail here within the video, hey, we got some questions asked. What are the 10 players or storylines to watch this upcoming OTAs? I think we've got quite a few points of interest, points to keep us all entertained, and reasons to ask some of these questions. Hey, will Jameson Williams be a breakout player this year? Will Broderick Martin step up and become the player we all thought he would be coming out of the draft last year? Is it possible that Hendon Hooker, turns some eyes with what he does in the OTAs, etc., with his performances? We all get OTAs. Hey, nothing's in pads. There's no hitting, all that stuff. It's just basically walkthroughs at full speed throughout most of the stuff. You're also going to start seeing some things with the kickoff, with the new kickoff rules. How are the Lions going to address it? How are they going to handle it? We all get that. All right, before we get into the video in earnest, just a couple things. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Making that push to hit, say, 6,700. And I want to say we are 20 subs away. So if you can help out with that, that would be great. Also, if you enjoyed the video and all the content here within, don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up button. You probably know it helps the channel out a ton. Last but not least, just because I am a person with a few different jobs, I enjoy all of them a ton. If you are looking to buy or sell property anywhere in the state of Michigan, give me a call or shoot me a text. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. Let's see what we can do to help make the process of buying property, whether it's vacant land, commercial property. Showed a Dairy Queen yesterday to a client. They're going to consider buying it and converting it over to a different franchise, but you get it. Whether it's a house, building, whatever it is, vacant land, heck, just give me a call or shoot me a text. Let's see what we can do to make the process a whole lot easier and save you some money. Who doesn't like that? If you're happy with the work that I do, you can buy me a Mountain Dew afterwards. So call it even. Call it good. All right. One real quick thing. Mike Key or Kip Jr. is going to join us at about the bottom of the hour, about 7:30. Also, I do have to let you guys know I'm going to have to head out a little early today just because some work stuff I have to do. I have to put a presentation on. And also, I've added something new to the end of the show. Let's see what you guys think about it. Again, off season, I want to work on stuff, try to keep the show growing and developing. Let me know what you guys think of this.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.
Hey, man, you gotta have fun in life. That's my thing. All right, let's see what you guys have to say about OTAs, and then we'll get talking about it in just a wee bit. All right, Mike, the Marine, what do you got? Howdy, Dan, Lions faithful. Do or die season. Woo! 100% the first woo of the show, man. We got that going early. I would agree. It is a do or die season for the Detroit Lions. You're all in it to win it. You're all in it to make things happen. Let's see what they can do. All right, Moonscar, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew family. Hope we have some first-timers joining this morning. Yeah, I'm guessing we will. It seems like it's, you guys can let me know, but it seems like it's expanding as far as the morning show. Seems to be doing okay. Ed, Lions Talk Live, let's ride, baby. 100% with that, 100%. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. The man is back, locked on the prize. Superdome or bust. Woo! There we go. Hopefully, yeah, by the way, I know some of you guys mentioned a little bit of echoing in the mic the last day or two. Apparently, there was an update to the program I used, so I had to click on, get rid of the echoing. So when I tested it out yesterday, it seemed to be gone now, or mostly gone. So it should be better now. And I'm so glad we have OTAs, and August is almost here. It's getting closer, man. Yeah, we get to about the Lions training camp starts about the latter part of the middle of July. So yeah, we're getting closer, man. All right, Ed, it's almost time to witness the best Lions season in their history. I think there could be a lot of truth to that, Ed. I think this could be an historic season. Anthony, good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you, Anthony. Hopefully having a great one, my friend. Thanks for all you do to always help out. Can't wait to hear a quote. And the NFC will run through Detroit, end quote, after the Lions embarrass San Francisco on Monday Night Football. We got a ways to that, but yes, that would be nice to hear once we go out there and do it. Damon, good morning, Duke Crew. The first big step towards the season has begun. I would say yes. These are the first real moments to get things going. So I concur with that assessment of the situation, 100% with that. So yeah, we get past these. You start getting ready for July and then preseason, all that stuff. And they seen a top 25 and younger by PFF. And Broski, I didn't see a single bear on it. Wait for on it. Wait, what Lions had 5? The Lions didn't have 5. I don't seem to recall any Chicago Bears or Green. At least Chicago Bears on that list. That would be a point of contention for Broski Bear to address. All right, Steve, greetings, salutations to Coach Dan and the new crew! Exclamation point. Well, it's another great day to be a Lions fan. Woo! 100% with that. And you know what? Hey, Lions, I really do think we're going to have an outstanding season. I know I'm calling, and I'm being conservative here. I'm saying 12 wins, but could it be way more? It is possible, I think. Eddie, what do you got? Good morning, everyone. My biggest worry this offseason, what if Hooker Hooker looks like the guy, question mark, do we trade him? I would say this: if he really looks just that dang impressive in OTAs preseason, maybe even gets some stuff early in the season. We have some blowouts or whatever it may be. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's quarterback goes down early in the season before the trade deadline, and they say, you know what, let's make a move to acquire him. Would the Lions give him up though? I'm not so sure. Just because you want a sound backup, we all get it. Just in case the unfortunate happens. Hooker seems to be trending from what we hear from players, and I get it. Take that all with a grain of salt. But he sounds like he's going to be a solid backup for the Detroit Lions. Could he have more potential than that? Absolutely. But I would say, at least for right now, I wouldn't be in a hurry to get rid of him. Bo, big question mark. What about Branch's health? That will be another thing. The health of some recovering players from injuries. All that will be addressed this week as we get more information on the guys throughout OTAs. I would say this: my top 10 list. You guys go with it. Here's what we want from OTAs, or at least what I want. One would be injury updates. We all saw that Brian Branch was moving around the scooter when Arnold was drafted. They talked and everything. Where's he at with things? Where's he at with the recovery process? How much has he improved? Is he still going to be out for a while? If he is going to be out for a while, what's the prognosis? All those type of questions. Also, Kirby Joseph, where's he at with things? Is he back, with the hip injury recovery, the surgery? Then obviously, Hendon Hooker, I know we already talked about it, but we want to get our first real opportunity to watch him participate in events and start to get an idea what he is. Arnold, is he going to be able to break into the starting lineup? That would be number 3 for me. How would the rest of the secondary shake out? I mean, we've got a pretty good idea that Carlton Davis is going to be a starting cornerback, but obviously he's got to earn that spot. Will Davis, if he breaks the starting lineup, will he be number 3 or 2? That means who is going to be opposite side Carlton Davis, assuming Arnold gets one of those spots, who's the third corner? How will we be playing and preparing for the new kickoff rule? Who's going to be out there on the coverage? Who's going to be out there receiving? Those type of things. How are we going to handle the new rules and adjust to it? Number 6, does Jameson Williams look primed for, say, wide receiver 2 potential? Is this part of the reason why maybe losing Jerry Jacobs Josh Reynolds isn't that big a deal? Is he going to be able to step in and, just command the number 2 spot? We get Amon-Ra as number 1, but will Jameson Williams continue that trend he showed last year and continue to rise and shine in the NFL? I would say most NFL teams really have 2 solid, real good wide receivers. The rest of them kind of fit in when needed. If Jameson Williams can really continue that growth upwards, then yeah, we're going to be pretty set there. So we talked about number 2. What about number 3? Does Antoine Green or Donovan Peoples-Jones really develop a trust and a bond with Jared Goff? Would they become the new number 3 wide receivers, number 3 and number 4? Does Khalif Raymond do it? That's another possibility I don't think we talk about enough. Number 8 for me would be Broderick Martin. We talked about him a couple days ago with the photo that came out, how jacked and everything he looks. Is he going to be able to break out in his second year, come in really give meaningful minutes. I would not anticipate him being in the starting lineup, but that doesn't mean he's not going to become a big contributor. Number 9, Marcus Davenport, James Houston. Who's it going to be opposite side Aiden Hutchinson? And no, we will not get this answered in OTAs, but we'll be able to get our first real looks at both of them, starting assessing the situation as far as, is Davenport going to be able to stay healthy? Is he going to be a good fit with this team? Is he going to be able to come in and command that position opposite side Aiden Hutchinson? Or does James Houston, maybe even somebody else, Joshua Pascal, get into that role? And then number 10, where will the Lions' young offensive line be playing? So, Sorsdale, will he be the left guard? Manu, left tackle. Mahogany, will he be right guard? All that stuff. Start really getting an idea what the coaching staff's going to do with him. Hookadoo, good morning, Coach Dew Crew. Wooster is crowing, rise, and shine. There you go. The Wooster is crowing and shining. Yeah, I like what you did there. Mike in the rain, thumbs up. Ed, can't wait to see clips of Arnold guarding Amara. There we go. And, man, that's a good point. You're seeing what they can do, how much he can stick to him, how often he gets beat. Getting some word on that. Ed, tell him, Anthony, about the Bears. Yeah, good call on that. All right, Ed, Lions have a league tail, Bears and Packers don't. Well said. Well, good summary, real quick and to the point. Stephanie, good morning, boys! Exclamation point. How's everybody doing? Question mark. Heading to the gym and getting ready to listen in. Well, listen on in and enjoy the gym. I will. I'll have to wait till later in the day to get there. Jason, good morning, crew. Back at you. Steve, no to the Hooker trade. If he is good, and I think he will be, we should keep him because good backups are hard to find. Steve, I agree with you. If this really is a team that we all feel is going to make a strong push towards the Super Bowl, do you really want to open up a roster hole potentially? Maybe they sign somebody else if they trade Hooker and they feel that's, that person's just as strong, just as good or whatever. I'm going to say this, though. To me, if we really think this is the year, we're going to go for it. Yeah, I'm not trading anybody. I might trade for some people, but I'm not going to trade away anybody that's going to open up a hole that now we have to fill in the middle of the season. All right, Stephanie and Anthony Cunningham, I guess PFF forgot about them Bears. Wink. Yes, it could be. Maybe they just forgot about all those top 5 or top 25 young guys. All right, Bo, how many snaps does Life get? All right, Khalif get, I mean. I think he'll probably get quite a few. I know he was, a little banged up end of the year. He'll probably be fine by now. It would be my anticipation. The other part is I think there's some potential he could be in play for that wide receiver 3 spot. Could Donovan Peoples-Jones or Green or somebody else win that spot? Absolutely. But Khalif Raymond, man, he's been pretty special, pretty solid since we've picked him up. I wouldn't count him out of the mix. Ed, do you mean Khalif Raymond? Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Yeah, I think that's what he meant. He usually gets like 1-2 plays a game. He does, man. He has impacted this team since he's become a part of it. And he usually makes a play too. He does. He's got some wheels, man. He's got some real speed. Look, Steph, do some exercise for me, please. Yes, I concur. Maybe she can get a workout in for everybody in the new crew. Moonscar, who will the Lions put on the non-football injury list or the IR short-term list to start the season, just to protect some of our roster from being poached? I'm curious about this. I think there's some potential. Some of the guys, maybe the later round draft picks that have some potential, just going to need time to develop, could get put on that list. The hard part is if they get put on that list, they're also restricted to what they can do with the coaching staff, training staff, etc. So there's going to be that balance to it. Susan, good morning. Duke Crew, exclamation points. I'm looking forward to reading up on how we look during OTAs. Yeah, should we get some information? I mean, I know there was some information that's come out, but yeah, we should be able to get some more over the next couple days. And we have never beaten the Tennessee Titans. Does that change this year? I would think so. I mean, maybe I'm grossly overestimating or underestimating, I guess it would be, Tennessee's abilities. I just think they've got some real holes, and I think we should match up fairly well with them. So wait and see. But yes, I do believe this will be the first year we beat them. All right, Hookadoo, morning, Anthony. One pride, back 100% agreed, Hookadoo, and back at you. Hopefully having a good morning. France, evening all. I would think so. Ed, Tennessee just doesn't seem like they will be much this year. Am I wrong? All. I don't think so. I think we got it. Okay, to one. Yeah, I knew what you meant, man. Michael, one. Yes. In the end, there can only be one, right? All right. Anthony, Stephanie, forget Bears, Packers, and the Vikings. Yes, agreed. Jesse Green, salutations, do crew. Anthony, how many guys did the Vikings in Green Bay have? Good question. Good question. Let's see what he has to say. Anthony, good morning, Hoogadoo. There you go. Ed, Tennessee likes like us redid their entire secondary. They could be a problem. Could be. I think they've got some spots we could match up pretty well with, especially on the ground. But let's wait until we get a little bit closer to the preseason, get a better opportunity to assess more than just a few teams across the league. Then we probably have a better idea on that stuff. Michael, how about the Michigan lineman that quit the Packers? How about that? Yeah, it just didn't take long, did it? But hey, it is what it is. Does anybody know why he quit? I didn't pay attention enough to it to understand why he did. All right, Ed, what I'm most excited to see week one is if they finally figure out the third quarter issues. I don't think we win the Super Bowl if we keep disappearing in the third. Yeah, I would agree. You got to have more sustained drives. You got to have more sustained offense. It came back nearly to bite us in the butt against the Rams in the playoffs. It definitely created some opportunities for Tampa Bay in the second round of the playoffs against the 49ers. Obviously, clearly, it bit us in the butt because we lost that game. But throughout the season, to your point, Ed, it was sitting around. It was always an issue. Why it happened, man, who knows? But they do need to resolve that. Ed, too many games last year were gash games with the run in the first half and start off the third quarter with 8 straight passes. Just no. Yeah, you gotta find a way to keep things more sustainable. I get other teams, defensive coordinators, they make adjustments, but you've also got to adjust to it. You've got to adjust to the counterpunch. And that's one thing I've talked about often on the show. When you have younger coaches, sometimes it takes them a little longer to figure out how to respond to something when somebody hits you with something you haven't seen before or in game. You get into that third quarter, there's no halftime to figure it out. You've got to do it now. And that's where I'm hoping Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, they make faster in-game adjustments with the more experience they get. All right, let's start. France, I think now that they no longer have Derrick Henry, it will be easier to beat them, but you never know. Yeah, Henry, all due respect to him, outstanding guy. He's also getting up there in age a little bit to where maybe he's not quite the Derrick Henry we remember, but yeah, we'll have to see. We'll worry about Tennessee once we get a little bit closer to that game. Anthony, and I don't think it's going to matter. They're not getting rid of Hooker, and I don't think it's going to matter. They're not getting rid of Hooker at all. We have no backup. We have no backup. No, I agree with you. Why create a roster hole by getting rid of somebody, especially if he looks like he's going to be highly productive? So I concur. Anthony, they're not going to get rid of Hendon Hooker. We have no backup. I agree. Hey, that's a thought I hadn't thought of before. Michael, we got just weeks into his NFL career, a Green Bay Packer rookie has been forced to call it quits. Former Michigan offensive lineman Trent Jones, 23, announced that he was retiring from the NFL in a YouTube. Wow. Does anybody know why he did, though? Was it injury related, or I guess that would be my question. So, sorry to hear that, man. I mean, there must be something happening that, especially at 23, to quit already. But hey, it does happen. At some point, every player will retire. Nobody plays forever. Silver Server, good morning, Coach. Good morning to you, Surf. How you doing? Hopefully you're having a great morning. Don, turnover buffs coming. All right, get ready for it. Invade the den from Michigan to Detroit. All right. Turnover buffs. All right. There must be something more to that than I'm aware of, but let me know. All right, Silver Server. Always hard for the Lions to beat the Titans, especially on the road. At home, though, and with these Lions, it's another story. Yeah, I would agree. Being at home will be a nice advantage for us. Moonscar, Michael, I guess he won't be a top 25, under 25 next year. All right? Yeah, you can take him off the list. Morning, Coach. Dropped off a WW2 veteran, born and raised in Detroit, 105 years old. been a Lions fan since '57. He said, "Hang in there, Lions fans." Man, that's awesome. I mean, there aren't a ton of World War II veterans still with us. It's awesome that you're working with one, and kudos to you, man. To hear some of those stories, it's got to both be frightening and also exhilarating to see that somebody went through all that, assuming they were out there. And I know the few that I've met over the years and talking to them about that, you can just see when they start talking about it, how it comes across their eyes. And, hey, the greatest generation ever, they say. All right, Michael, right, MB. All right, there you go. Dave, only 10. Hello. Woo! Only 10 what, I guess. That I don't know. So, Bo, Green Bay seems to be having moral problems. Young guy retiring, wide receiver, lingering hamstring. Guys talking about losing their love for football. Ooh, that's not good if you got that going on, man. I didn't realize Green Bay was in such dire straits. Hopefully, I mean, I don't wish ill on anybody, so hopefully they figure it out. But if they can't figure it out until after they play the Lions, I'm okay with it. All right, Brett, good morning, Coach Duke Crew, Superdome or bust. Woo! 100% with that, and good morning to you, Brent. Michael, I was shocked how quickly that wanted out of Green Bay. Yeah, he wanted out. Yeah, there's got to be something to the story. Maybe something going on at home, injury. I mean, something like that, but you never know. All right, Michael, right, Bo. There you go. Bo, great story. Drove me 100%, 100% with that, 100%. All right, Brent, Packers falling apart. LOL. Something's going on. I guess, I just don't always have the time to pay attention to all the other teams, so I look forward to when you guys can keep me up to date on some of the stuff. But, man, something's going on over there. All right, Silver, what do you got? Let's wait for the beginning of the season to start saying how bad divisional rivals are. I would say, yeah, don't overreact to some OTA stuff because, if the guy wasn't that good or the players weren't that good, they're going to be able to replace them with something, maybe even some former Detroit Lions. All right, Lions fan number one, good morning, Duke Crew. Coach, have you ever thought about also doing a show on other teams? I haven't, just being a Lions fan, kind of selfish like that. So, if you're talking like a Good Morning Football type show, no, I have not. This would be as close to it as I have considered. All right, Uncle Buzz, Shoresdale needs to get in the program that Martin used. He always looks soft. I'm guessing, yeah, they've got him on some workouts too to try to have him develop and evolve. See where he is once we get into OTAs. I have not seen anything on him from yesterday. Dale, happy hump day, Duke Crew! Exclamation point. Thanks for your hard work and dedication, Coach Dan. Let's go, Lions. Woo! 100%. Hey, no worries, Dale. I enjoyed this exponentially, so I'm not going anywhere. Moonscar, second to seeing the Lions go and win a Super Bowl would be seeing the Fudgies dwell in the basement of the North and close to a decade. Man, could you imagine if they drop off like that? I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know, man. Never know. All right, Mike the Marine, hump day. Woo, woo! All right, there we go. And, Gunny, have a great Wednesday to you as well. Quick greatest salutations, y'all. Man, oh man, OTAs underway, so we getting closer and closer to that season starting. No, you're right, man. I mean, this is really the rookie thing. Okay, I get it. You get some rookies out there, you get stuff happening. But beyond that, I mean, this really is the first step in the season. Once you get past the draft and free agency, all that stuff. This is the first opportunity for everybody to come together. Coaches start working with people. Players starting to get really hands-on experience. You get through OTAs, it's a straight shot to preseason stuff, training camp, all that. All right, Jerome, hey, Coach, the wife told me I have to give up our season tickets. She wants the kitchen remodeled. The Lions are not important. Can you help me explain to her she's wrong? I would say, the mental frustration and duress it would cause you to give up your season tickets. Man, no kitchen cabinets can replace a sound body and mind. Hopefully that works for you, Jerome. Let me know. Dale, national media is falling in love with Green Bay and Chicago. Let's not forget we are here to stay. The TOD tells us so. No, the Tower of Destiny has spoken. I'll say this, Dale. I mean, I get it. The media, especially this time of year, they need to get storylines. They need to get people to, watch their content. So you need to come up with stuff that might raise eyebrows, might pique interest. So I get that, man. And I would say this. I do think Chicago is going to be much better this year. I do think Green Bay is going to be very good. I also think, Detroit's not going anywhere anytime soon. Rocky, good morning, all. Do we have more front office poached? Could be, man. It could be. Well, I think we had the one gentleman. USC guys, Brandon. I'm trying to remember. Sonoza. Yeah, he did get signed by the Washington Commanders. Commanders they've been coming right to Detroit and shopping, and they've been picking up a lot of our players, personnel directors, etc. So they've done quite a bit. All right, Bo Backus was never ripped. Mr. Nancy didn't seem to take his work out routine seriously until his last season. New World. I would agree. Yeah, a little different for him. Steve Rogers, good morning, all. Good morning to you, Cap. Ed, a top 5 Lions moment would be, for sure be beating Green Bay in the NFC title game this year and us going to win it all. No, I think it's going to be Detroit versus Green Bay in the NFC title game, and I do think the Lions are going to win it. So I'm with you on that. Anthony, I see that 2 front offices have been poached. Yeah, over the course of the season, they have been. All right, Michael, greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke Crew. Sorry about that. Had to clear my throat. Super Bowl or bust, one pride, 100%, Michael. Michael, what do you got? Next draft will be in Green Bay. That I don't know offhand. Don't know. Rocky, or did you mention Brandon Sonoza being poached? Yeah, we did a video on him, whatever it was, a couple days ago. Single Dance Club, good morning. Good morning to you, too. And imagine if our road to the first ever Super Bowl in Lions history, including Dallas, and then Green Bay in the NFC title game, and then we face Rodgers and the Jets. Ooh, that would be something. All demons gone. There you go. Phil, why are the Lions letting front office people go? ? Just as important as anyone else. No, I don't. I think it's just, in my opinion, it's just an opportunity for those individuals to rise in the ranks. So it's hard for them to turn down those opportunities, unless the Lions are going to fire people in order to move those people up. So yeah, they're in a tough spot there. Frank the Tank. Woo! There you go. And good morning, Frank. Ed, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Back at you. Ed, what is realistic expectation for J-Mo on the defense this year? I'm going to go with Williams having 1,000 yards. How about 8 touchdowns? The defense, number 12 in the league this year. Go with that. Famous RW, greetings, salutations. I can see pitch counts for a lot of our players this year besides the quarterback. Good thing we have good depth. A lot of teams don't have. No, I think that's a wise idea, especially with a longer season. Just go ahead and keep them as fresh as possible. All right, Frank the Tank. We all know James Williams will be the difference this year. I think he's going to be way different. Moonscar, microphone doesn't sound better today, Dan. Oh well, won't keep me from listening. No, I mean, I've done all I can to fix it. I went in there and cleaned up the information on it. So unless here, let me check something. All right, let me try one other thing here while I got you on air. Well, you guys let me know if that changes anything. So, all right, Tim, greetings, salutations to the Coach and Duke Crew and everyone else in the room. Like the page and please subscribe. 100% with that. 100%. Thanks, Timmy. Moonscar, I got to see the intro today, though. There you go. All right, fair enough. Hey, you got to take your wins when you can. Silver Coach, we play the Packers November 3rd, a day after Love's birthday. Let's hope he parties hard that night. Just kidding around, but you ought to know how hard it is to beat a Scorpion. Yes, I do know that. Miles, laughing out loud. Phil, Roy Rogers. Yes, Roy Rogers it was. Roy Rogers, great. Yeah, hopefully you guys got a kick into that. And yeah, that's not the intro. That's what I'm going to play at the end of the show. Matthew, green salutations, Coach, and good morning, everyone. Super Bowl or bust? Woo! 100%. And with that, guys, it's 7:30, so let's bring on the man, the myth himself. Mike, how you doing today? Hutch Jr.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Not too bad, man. So we got OTAs underway here. We got what would you say if you're looking from the outside looking in? What are some of the things you're watching, trying to get information on from the team regarding OTAs?
I mean, my biggest thing right now would just be the rookies, see how they're, driving with the team. That's about all I'm worried about. Everything else is going to kind of fall in play. We didn't really change a lot outside the defense. So I'm just kind of seeing how the rookies fit in. Who's going to get the 1 snaps, who's going to get the 2 snaps. Wondering where the rookie corners fit in. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. And then the JMO situation, we'll see how that plays out.
Okay. Now let me ask you, Jameis Williams, he's going to be the focal point, I'm guessing, for a lot of people's commentary this upcoming season. What's your realistic expectations for JMO this season? I mean, is he really going to take another step forward? Is he going to potentially be a push to become a number 1 wide receiver?
I don't think he'll push to be number 1. I think he'll be a nice secondary to Amon-Ra. I'm expecting 800-900 yards, maybe 7-8 touchdowns. How many of those are going to be big chunk plays? That's what I'm going to see. I expect him to be that big chunk play guy. I'm going to expect a lot of 50-60 yard receptions. And who knows how they're going to fit him in the offense. I kind of like the Saints game last year, how they started to get him on reverse sweeps and got that speed top notch. So I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with him, and that's going to be interesting. I felt like he really came on the last 8 games of the season, going in 6 games and then 2 games in the playoffs. So he was one of our best receivers, I thought, in the playoffs. He had a couple drops, but I mean, he really started showing that, hey, his hands started coming together. And I feel like he could be a real threat, and I think obviously his speed is what makes him so great, because he just takes tops off defense. So, if you take the top off the defense, it just helps the team in many ways. But in the same way, our wide receiving core could be our greatest weakness. One injury, and we're talking a whole different team, So.
No, you're right. There are going to be a lot of questions that need answered this offseason in regards to the offense, the depth of wide receiver, especially. With that being said, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Khalif Raymond, Antoine Green, what do you think the Lions have in these 3? I think we probably all have some idea with Raymond, but do you think he ascends to take the number 3 spot, or do you think it's going to be somebody else?
I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones, I mean, when he was in Cleveland, I mean, he showed promise. What do you have, like 12 quarterbacks when you played for Cleveland? And I think one year he went for like 800 yards. So I feel like when they traded for him, I feel like that's what they're hoping. Like, hey, we're going to get this guy that, could be that 3rd receiver. He's a big body receiver. I always thought they were going to use him on a kick return. I figured that's where his place was going to be. And I felt like I felt like that was the trend with the Lions last year. Like, they get these new players in, they give them minimal snaps, they fit them in the offense, and then they figure it out. So I'm wondering, like, this year if him and JMO are going to see the field way more and be in the same packages, because it was weird to have that kind of receiver and he only got minimal playing time. He made a couple, catches in the playoffs, but it wasn't like anything extravagant. But I mean, the guy's got speed. He's a big body receiver. He can catch the ball. Everyone knows he played for Michigan. He wasn't great at Michigan, but he was good enough to do well, So I'm hoping, and Khalif just has that speed. I mean, you get him. I mean, he's almost like that Amon-Ra, like slant guy. You just put him in a slot and you'll find him. And, they get him in a lot of weird packages where he ends up behind the defense somewhere and people just forget about him because I feel like he's so small out there. You don't even know he's out there. And then before you know it, he catches the ball and he's got you 20 extra yards. So, Khalif, I feel like is going to be a nice, 4th option. And then Antoine Green, I feel like could be good. He was one of those big play guys at North Carolina. So we'll see. I don't know. I forgot they signed the guy that used to play for the Saints. Forgot he's even in the receiving core. So we'll see. We'll see who actually makes it out of the preseason and into the season. But yeah.
What concerns you the most going into OTAs about the Detroit Lions defense?
Our secondary. I mean, we were burnt toast last year. There's so many games I figured we should have lost, and we somehow won. And I think it was because I think Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson knew, like, hey, we got to control these games. So, my big thing is, when is our defense going to kick in? I would like to see our defense might not come out the gate hot, but by week 5, week 6, after the bye, I need to see something out of our defense. Like, I can't go into these big games, playing Houston, playing San Francisco week 17, and our defense is bottom 25 of the league. Like, we just, you don't trade for Terrion Arnold and you get extra on your defense should not be bottom 25. Like, I need to see our defense like right around mid 15 And then coming into like the final weeks, like we got to be like a top 10 defense. Like that's my wish. That's my goal. I think they can do it, especially with the additions they got. Having James Houston back healthy, hoping he can kind of reflash some of his rookie year. And then, see where DJ Reader plays into the mixture, because that's a huge piece for not only Hutchinson, but the rest of the D line.
You mentioned the defensive line, Hutchinson. You mentioned James Houston. We've got a lot of different guys that have been drafted higher: Levi Onwuzurike, Joshua Pascal, etc. Marcus Davenport. Why we didn't draft him, we brought him in with the idea. It sounds like that he's going to be able to contribute to the line. James Houston, while he was a diamond in the rough, had an outstanding rookie year. Obviously, last year cut short or cut off because of the injuries. At the end of the day, when everything's settled, who do you really think is going to be starting opposite side Agent Hutchinson at the opposite defensive end?
I think a lot of people forget that we signed that Matthew Betts guy from the CFL. He was 18 sack guy. I know it's the XFL, whatever, but I mean, 18 sacks is 18 sacks in a game, no matter where you're playing or in a season. He was the defensive player of the year. So I'm really interested to see where that guy plays. I'm wondering maybe if they do some kind of huge rush package with him, Hutch, and then Houston on the end, and then you put DJ, or Aleem right in the middle of it and see how it goes. So yeah, there's a lot of people I could say James Houston because it was him, for 2 years, but who knows coming in the OTAs with this. I'm really interested to see if there's any like things that are out about this CFL guy, because I totally like all the signings, everything. Like I totally forgot we got this guy like real early in the offseason.
We did.
And it was like, hey, why isn't this guy getting mentioned? And 18 sacks is 18 sacks in a season. If he can come in and produce 8 or 9 or 10 in the NFL, I'm happy, like just give Hutch something. Like I feel like Hutch gets so much slack, but it's just like the guy has no help. You want him. Everyone goes back to the San Francisco game where he pursued, and then, Brock Purdy got that first down, kind of ended the game, but it was like there's no outside interior pressure, and he was trying to do it all. And, that I feel like you give him some help, and he turns into that 16.5, 17 sack guy, and, he's the number 2 pick that everyone wanted, and we go from there.
So with the Lions now in OTAs, one of the questions I'm guessing that's going to come up is Hendon Hooker. Who is this guy? What's he doing? Where are we going with him? What do you honestly think we're going to have come out of Hendon Hooker?
The Hendon Hooker situation is a real interesting one. Listen, everyone knows what Nate Sudfeld is. I'm not happy about Nate Sudfeld. I would have never re-signed him. I know we have Hendon Hooker. Me personally, if Hendon Hooker is somewhat of what we think he is, he wouldn't be a bad backup to have just in case. Like, because right now, if knock on wood, nothing ever goes wrong. Jared Goff goes down, and we have to put Nate Sudfeld in there. Our season's over. Like, we have no contingency plan. So yeah, as much as I would love to trade Hendon Hooker, I think you go into OTAs, you give Hendon Hooker 1 snap, see what he looks like with the one offense. Him and Jared Goff kind of share. And then I think in the preseason, I don't even think you put Jared Goff out there. I think you let Hendon Hooker control these 3 games. Maybe give Jared Goff a couple snaps, whatever. But you let Hendon Hooker play most of the preseason and maybe show teams what he is and see maybe, okay, hey, yeah, maybe we would be interested in trading. Maybe we trade for a linebacker. Maybe we trade for another safety. Maybe we trade something, But everyone forgets he was a top 5 pick before he blew his ACL, So he's got athleticism. He's got a huge arm, and I feel like with our offense that could help us big time. So yeah, I don't know, man. That's the greatest mystery of the Lions in years is this Hendon Hooker situation. Like, it's not talked about enough. No one knows what's happening. It's like, okay, are we trading this guy? Are we keeping him? Is he good enough? Did we waste a 3rd pick? It's like, who knows, So yeah, and I seen we only have 1 home preseason game. It's against the Steelers. So hopefully we get enough TV time where someone can watch him and see what he's doing. Because I'll be at training camp. Hopefully I get to see it and I can report a little bit from it. But yeah, it's gonna be that's gonna be the greatest mystery of the Lions offseason going into the season. Is this Hendon Hooker guy? Like, is he a quarterback, or is he just gonna be a bench player the rest of his life?
No, I think that's one of the there's nothing wrong with having him just be a great backup, especially if we really are going to make a run into the playoffs this year, make it, for the Super Bowl. You're going to need somebody just in case something, the unforeseen happens. But at the end of the day, do you want the number third round pick to be your backup? I guess that's in homes you're going to have to trust. All right, guys, I do have to cut it off a little early today because I do have a work commitment earlier today than normal. Hutch Jr., tell us a little bit about yourself. Give yourself a shout out. Tell people all about you.
Oh, name kind of sells itself. Hutch Jr., Lions super fan, Lions season ticket holder. This is my second year, so real excited about this year with all the primetime games. It's going to be a blast. Active streamer on TikTok. If you guys want to check me out, the name is the Kip Doctor on TikTok. Obviously, I post a lot of dance clips on there, kind of get us both out there, share some thoughts and stuff like that. So if you guys wanted to go over there and drop a follow, I appreciate it. Obviously, subscribe, follow the chat on here. I always appreciate Dan bringing me on. And outside of that, no, this has always been a blast for me. I enjoy coming on here, so thanks for having me all the time. So,
well, we appreciate having you on. All right, guys, as you guys know, if there's some sort of breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. Do have, like I said, a few work commitments today. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're about 20 subs away from 6,700. If you would take a second of time, hit that like button. Helps out a lot. Other than that, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you all in the next Lions Talk Live.
Happy trails.